And what do we have next from a random grab records from the living room shelf? We have Art Tatum. Very cool. Piano Mastery by Art Tatum. Now, I'm not going to go into Art Tatum's story, mostly because I don't know Art Tatum's story. But there are a few stories that I could probably relate. This record I've kept because it's so beautiful. It's so... If there is a virtuoso in the jazz world, among all the virtuosos that rose to the top, Art Tatum definitely holds his own little cloud. It is music played at an extremely high level. And I think I've spoken before about Art Tatum and how for non-jazz lovers, this can sometimes be the kind of music why they don't love jazz. Now, it's not because it's crappy, it's more because it's kind of like listening to Ornette Coleman or some late stage Coltrane, where they're kind of going off in the stratosphere and just like blasting through notes and just kind of doing their thing, you know? And what was this great quote? Who was it? I think it might have been Cornel West on a John Coltrane documentary where he talks about some of the later works, you know, post Love Supreme of John Coltrane, where he's really leaving the listeners in the dust and just kind of blasting into the stratosphere. And he said something that I found was so real. He said that music is something that he didn't understand, but that was on him. And that John Coltrane making that music wasn't exactly inviting listeners to it. He was saying, if you want to get on this level, if you can come to it, great. And if you can't, then see you later. And I thought that was such a sophisticated, mature way to look at it. Instead of being like, what's he doing? He's just making it for himself. And yeah, in a way he was, but in a way that was honest. And that's the same with Art Tatum. Not that all of Art Tatum's music is impenetrable and that far out there, but his interpretations are very, let's say, sophisticated. And it takes me, at least, I need to kind of get into the like Art Tatum kind of, you know, groove. I got to like kind of shake myself into it and listen to it for a few minutes to 10, sometimes half an hour. But I find if I listen to Art Tatum for 30 minutes and then continue that day, maybe in the next few days, I start to get it. And I start to feel the exhilaration and the power and the majesty and all of that the people who love Art Tatum see. And there's another great story that, you know, you'll see this story come up a million times when people are talking about Art Tatum or when people are talking about Fats Waller. Now, Fats Waller was considered the king of the stride piano. Back in his day would have been, now get me in the comments if I get this history wrong, back in the late 20s and 30s in Harlem when they would have stride piano contests. You know, it'd be in somebody's apartment. It wouldn't even be in a bar. You know, it'd just be a house party. And the best of the best would come to outdo each other. It'd be like it'd be like the modern freestyle battles, you know? And only the best of the best could hang at the piano stride battles. And the best of the best at that time was considered Fats Waller. And Fats Waller was just a man about town. Always out on the town, always out drinking and always spending every dime he had, throwing it around at all the bars. He was playing at a nightclub, and he's sitting there, and everybody's into it. And he kind of looks to the back of the room, and he sees Art Tatum walk into the room. And Fats Waller, the king of the stride piano, jumps up from the piano and looks to the back of the room at Art Tatum and announces famously to the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, God has just entered the room." And gets up, and Art Tatum strides up to the piano and blows everybody away with an incredible set. That was how well respected Art Tatum was in his day. And that is the legacy that Art Tatum has left the music world. A legacy of some of the most sophisticated and beautiful piano playing that has ever been put on to vinyl. Art Tatum, Piano Mastery. The title says it all.